this your first interview? Podcast?
Well, my first podcast, yeah, not my first interview.
Oh, you done an interview before?
Yeah, I've been interviewed a few times for like the XFL and when I was graduating from Grambling in the NFL draft. Like when I was a prospect and shit. Yeah, I got interviewed a few times.
All right. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to On the Come Up with KG. And today I am joined by, how do you want me to introduce you?
Jordan.
Jordan. Okay, I'll introduce my friend Jordan. You could tell them about yourself.
How y'all doing? My name's Jordan. Everybody call me Big Ham though. Like how deep you want me to go into about myself? Like
it's just whatever you want to say.
Oh yeah, well I'm from
no
Detroit. Yeah. I'm from Detroit. I'm Nigerian though, but I was born and raised in Detroit. I played college football at Grambling. Played professionally in the XFL this past season. And yeah, that's basically it.
All right, so my first question is, where the nickname Big Ham come from? I've always wanted to know that.
All right, so
because that's a crazy name. Like you could, I remember during like whenever we were back at Grambling, y'all was throwing a kickback or something in y'all apartment, right? And we had some friends in town. I think it was graduation season, and they was like, "Why?" They was like, "We gonna go to a nigga house named Big Meat."
Nah, so look. I'm gonna tell the real story, then I'm gonna tell the fake story. Okay. All right, so the real story is when I was in junior college, it was this white boy on the team named Forrest. And Forrest was big and he was strong as fuck. Like me and Forrest was the two strongest people on my team in JUCO. Mm-hmm. So the coaches started saying I was the Black Forest. So then it went from Black Forest to Black Forest Ham to just Ham. So I really got the nickname in junior college. It was really a football team nickname. My football coach gave it to me and started calling me Black Forest Ham.
But why Ham?
Because you ain't never heard of Black Forest Ham?
Oh.
Yeah. Like that's a thing, Black Forest Ham.
Okay.
So then they just started calling me Ham for short, and it kind of just stuck. And I ain't gonna lie, I really never had a nickname before, and I kind of fucked with it. So I was like, fuck it. Like, and then everybody called me Ham and JUCO for like a year and a half straight, and I got to Grambling and just stuck. But now this is the fake story. So, you know, I like fucking with people, and I really got the idea from one of my coaches. This nigga was funny as hell. He was like a younger coach. He was like a GA. And one day we was on campus, and the girl asked me like, why do people call you Ham? Like, asked me to say a question. Hey, this nigga is so funny. He whispered, like, you better tell her it's HAM for the heavy ass meat. And after that, I started telling people that. Like, when I wanted to fuck with people, like, why they call you Ham? I'll be like, it's an acronym, HAM for heavy ass meat. And people would be like,
no, that's crazy.
And people used to be so fucking confused. Like, okay,
what? Well, Big Ham. Okay. I thought maybe your last name.
Nah, I used to
acronym or something like that. Like,
I used to tell people all type of shit. Like, I used to tell people, like, it's people at Grambling that thought my first name was Hamilton. Like, I used to tell people, I've told people my first name was Hamuel. Like, but yeah. And then something that started at Grambling too was niggas would call me any iteration of Ham, and I would answer, like, if you say like Hamburglar or like Ham Boney or like Ham Sandwich, Ham and Cheese, like different people call me different versions of Ham, and it just be funny. Like my personal favorite is Hamuel L. Jackson. It's like so that's how some people actually thought my name was Hamuel, because these would call me Hamuel, and people would think my name was Hamilton or Hamuel. Like that's why they called me Ham. No, that was funny, bro.
That's a like. Sometimes people have some strange nicknames. My nickname is just KG, but it's just my initials. Like.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I never really had a nickname because like Jordan is like you can't really.
Yeah.
Like you can't really shorten that down.
So when you meet people, do you introduce yourself as Jordan or Big Ham?
I introduce myself as Jordan, unless I'm trying to be funny, then I say Big Ham. Like not trying to be funny, but like, I just feel like fucking with you. I'll be like, my name Ham or like Big Ham. And they be like, what's your real name? I'll be like, I don't know.
Not your stripper name. No, that's crazy. Okay, so how long have you been playing football, or how long were you playing football?
So I started, the first time I ever played football was in 3rd grade. Mm-hmm. And then I fucking quit, because fuck that. That shit was annoying. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was annoying. Funny story though is that a lot of offensive linemen, I play O-line, a lot of offensive linemen didn't start off as offensive linemen, they played other positions, then they just got big as hell, so they just ended up playing O-line. But I actually been playing O-line my whole life, like third grade, my first time ever playing football, I was playing O-line and I hated it. But I started in third grade, was playing O-line. I only played in one game, quit. Then I didn't play again until 7th grade. And then I played all the way from 7th grade to now, yeah.
So did you like, when you first played it, did you love it, or was it just kind of like something you got thrown into?
No, I mean, I was the one that made my mom put me in football. Like, I wanted to play football. It was never nothing that was like forced on me, I'll say. Like, it was my choice. I liked it. And it was just, I don't know what drew me to football. Like, I never played no other sport, honestly. Like, I played basketball in like 8th grade, but I was trash. I'm still trash to this day. But other than that, I never played. In high school, I was always ineligible, so I couldn't play any other sports. But I never played no other sports.
Wait,
I don't know what it was.
Why were you ineligible? Your grades?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're not dumb.
Yeah, because I knew the report card I needed to be eligible for football season, and that's the only time I would do enough to be eligible for football season.
So you was just lazy.
Yeah, I just wasn't, I had other things to do, like, in high school.
Like what?
Shit, I was kicking it. You feel me? You feel me? I had shit to do.
What was so important in high school that you couldn't maintain?
I had fun, man. I just, I also was damn near living alone in high school, so you could imagine how.
So how that, your mom was just, or your parents was just working a lot?
So 7th through 9th grade, I was living with my pops. My pops used to work a lot. Like, he used to go to work at like 2 in the afternoon and then get off till 6 in the morning. So I get off school, I get home from school at 3. I don't see him. You feel me? It's like we always passing by each other. That used to be funny. I used to get off school and basically do what the fuck I wanted. So he kicked me out in 9th grade because one day he came home at 6 a.m. and normally he goes straight to sleep. So I started getting bold. Like, I started coming home after him. But because I'm like, he sleep. Like, he tired from work. He normally goes straight to sleep. Boy, I came home at like 6:30, 7 a.m. one day. That nigga was on the couch eating. I was like, oh, shit. I tried to tell that nigga I woke up early and went for a jog or some shit. That shit didn't work. Man, that did. So he kicked me out. I went to go live with my mom's side of the family.
So this is all in Detroit.
Yeah, this is all in Detroit. I went to go live with my mom's side of the family. Like the West Grand Boulevard area. Went over there. My mom was back and forth between Nigeria and America at this point, trying to like do some business shit over there. So I was living with my cousin. I called her my auntie though because she was like 30 and I was 15. So I called her auntie. It's an African thing out of respect.
I do that too.
Yeah. But she was like on some. That was more like having a roommate. Like, she wasn't on no, I'm your mama, I'm your parent. Like, it was just like, just. If you're not coming home, let me know. Yeah. Like, if you're not doing this, let me know. Like, let me know where you are. Like, it's not even I have to check in. Just tell her, hey, I'm going to be at my friend's house for a couple of days. All right. Like, Yeah. So it was that. And then my senior year, she kicked me out. So I was living with, other people. But, then I went to college. So, yeah.
Can I ask why she kicked you out?
Honestly, it was because she got issues with my mom. Type shit. And when my mom would come into town, obviously I lived there, I'm her son, so my mom would come around and she had underlying issues with my mama that she needed to address. But the straw that broke the camel's back was my senior year, her husband started living with her. And me and my
you gotta say much.
Man, I got into it with that nigga one day and after that
I get it. Okay, so but did you have any other like interests or hobbies when you were in school besides football?
Man, it's crazy because any interest that I ever had always got taken away from me because of behavior. But football, I could play though. No matter what the fuck I did, I could play though.
That though, because I feel like that's something that I never even considered thinking about.
Yeah, I mean this shit was like, now that I'm older, like I can do whatever I want. But it's like I just never know where those interests or hobbies would have took me if I was allowed to pursue them. And it's not so much my parents per se. It's mostly like schools, parents, coaches will be like, all right, like for example, I was always a problem child. Like I always was in trouble a lot. So it just always was getting in trouble in school, getting suspended, getting kicked out of school. So So 3rd grade, I remember one day, teacher started calling kids out of class. I'm thinking I'm finna get suspended because that's normally what happens when I get called out of class. So I'm like, oh, what the fuck I do now? Like, what I do now? Like, I'm in 3rd, like, what I do now? But then I'm looking around at the kids she called out. I'm like, hold on, these kids don't get in trouble. So I'm like, what's going on? So she like, our recent assignment in class was writing a newspaper article, and y'all 6 had the best articles in the entire grade. Like, we starting the school newspaper, and y'all are gonna be on it. So I was like, if you feel me, I'm in 3rd, 4th grade. I'm like, damn, I like journalism. Like, I might want to be a journalist one day. Shit, I did something, bro. They kicked me out the newspaper club. They was like, nah.
Dang,
like, yeah, kicked me out. I was in a drama club in 3rd and 4th grade. I was doing plays and shit. And everybody in the drama club to make it fair was supposed to get 1 leading role. But I got like 4 because I was just like, I was kind of good at it. Like, I don't know, yeah. Like, I was in plays and shit. Like, I had a lead role in plays. I had 4 lead roles. Like, it was crazy. And then they kicked me out the drama club because I did something else. I don't remember what I did. 7th grade, I had to rewrite a speech for Black History Month. We was having a Black History banquet at my middle school. And they was like, all right, we need somebody to rewrite Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, but make it like more relevant for your age group, what's going on in your environment. So I went home, I rewrote the speech. I went to school the next day and I practiced it for like the principal and a few teachers. And I swear I had them people in there crying. Like, I don't remember what I wrote, but I knew I wrote some shit. I had them folks in there tearing up. They're like, oh my God, like they couldn't wait for me to present the speech and shit. But I got suspended that day. I got suspended for like 3 days that day. I think I got into a fight that day and it was over after that. I could never do that. So public speaking, over with. Like, so it was like every time I was finna like have a different little hobby, it was over with. But like when I got to high school, no matter what trouble I got in, them boys made sure I could be on that field though. It was crazy.
So do you feel like that was unfair or it was necessary?
I wouldn't say it was unfair because I get it because there's ways to discipline. Like, you do need discipline and shit. I wouldn't say it was unfair, but it was more like I feel like you shouldn't strip things away from kids because you never know like where that would take them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think there might be a different avenue for discipline, especially where it seems like they saw your potential in each field.
Yeah, and they just was like,
it was like, oh, he's good at writing. We're gonna put him on the newspaper, but he gets in trouble, so never mind.
Yeah,
but it's like you saw the potential, so why did you take it away?
I think what I really think is, as I'm older, this is what I think it is. I think as adults, like when they see you have potential in something, it's like, all right. But it's expendable. Like all the things I named, people can't like see how that would make you some money. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like being a journalist is not the most glamorous profession unless you make it to the highest level. Like, like you on ESPN or some shit. Being an actor or being in plays, it's not it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really achievable to, especially in the inner city. You don't really see. They're not used to seeing that. A journalist, an actor, a public speaker, you know what I'm saying, a politician. They're not, but a football player. All right, this might be his avenue out.
Yeah.
Let's let him. We're not going to take that away. That's probably his only chance. All this other shit can get took away. But it's like you don't know that. You can't limit somebody like that.
Limit somebody. And also, I think it's interesting for an inner city Black kid to even be interested or good at anything like that, like journalism, acting.
Let me also point something out though. Is what's also fucked up is I don't know if I would have had them opportunities to do those things if I lived on Joy Road in Evergreen on the west side of Detroit from when I was 4 to when I was 12. But in these schools I was going to, they were in the suburbs. Like they were in Dearborn Heights, because my mom would use other people's address to put me in school.
Okay.
So I went to DPS school I think 1 year when I was in middle school. I mean when I was in elementary. Other than that, I ain't go back to DPS till high school. But that's another thing that's fucked up is I don't know if they had them programmed, because when I went to Dixon that 1 year, I don't think we had no school newspaper, no school play group. No, I don't think we had that in Detroit Public School. So that's also one thing is in inner cities, they're not even giving the kids the opportunities to be interested in these things. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's over with. Like Like, I think the only time I ever had, other than high school, I think the only time I ever took like music or any of that shit was art for real was in them suburban schools.
Yeah.
Now you'll be surprised how like how different inner city public schools are from the suburban public schools. Like it's like night and day. It's like you damn near like them like compared to Detroit public schools, like Dearborn, all that shit. And that might as well be private school. Like it's that big of a difference. Like we don't even have wrestling in Detroit public schools. There's only one school that got a wrestling team. And they just got one. That's Mumford. But other than that, we don't have wrestling. We don't have hockey. We don't have. It's a lot of shit we don't have. So they don't even really give you an opportunity to be interested in nothing else. Mm-hmm. It's like this is
they literally do the bare minimum.
Yeah, and I don't know who fault it is, and I don't know how to fix it. But it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a whole. We all know it's politics and gentrification and redlining and all that. It's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it, and taxes and.
Yeah, I know the public schools funded our property tax.
Yeah,
but we
have the bad schools and the poorest neighborhoods that can't afford taxes to fix the schools. It's we all know that, but it's like I think that if there was enough awareness or care, it can be something like they just don't care enough, really.
Yeah, I think if they don't have the funding for it, fundraise.
Yeah,
draw awareness to it, make people donate. Yeah,
and some things is like not even like having a theater class or like a choir class. It doesn't take that much funding. You might not be able to have recitals and crazy things like that, but like having something where the kids can be interested and have activities to do outside of work. It doesn't take that much effort. They just don't care enough to do it.
Yeah, it's crazy because district-wide, not even every Detroit public high school has a band. Because when I went to Northwestern, we ain't had no band. But King had a band. I know Mumford had a band. Those are the two I know off the top of my head. The rest of the schools, they don't have no band. Shit, a lot of schools don't really like. Some don't have cheerleaders. They don't have wrestling. Like they don't have track and field. We don't got javelin. We don't got pole vaulting. It's certain things we don't have. And I heard the wrestling, javelin, pole vaulting, and the cheerleaders can't do like stunts. I heard that's an insurance thing. I guess I don't know the specifics, but I remember somebody telling me that when I was in high school, like, oh, it's insurance or some shit that Detroit public schools don't got. But yeah, it's just crazy the opportunities we don't really even get to pursue. So you really don't know what's out there for you. That's why everybody think, oh, I either gotta be a super nerd, get an academic scholarship, play a sport, or rap. Like that'd be the only three things people feel like they can do.
Isn't Detroit like the most black populated city or something?
It's one of them. We like top 5. I think the blackest city in America is Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Atlanta and Detroit are up there. Jackson, Mississippi is the blackest city in America. I know they're number 1 for sure. But Atlanta and Detroit are in the top 5.
I think Detroit had number 1 a few years back for it might not be specifics for like black people, but like maybe district wise or something like that. Like more like spot on. But I remember reading that and I was like, that's interesting.
No, that's why I like going to Grambling and being at HBCU. Why it wasn't weird to me because Detroit is a very, very black city. Like everyone's black. Like,
I want to visit Detroit.
Yeah, everyone's black. Like the police chief, the head prosecutor, the mayor's normally always black. The whole city council's black.
I love that.
Yeah, everybody's black in Detroit.
Because I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic area. And it wasn't terrible because, we're still minorities at the end of the day. Yeah. But it wasn't terrible, but it's just like I didn't see a lot of people who looked like me.
That makes sense. Detroit, everybody's black. Like at when I went to Northwestern, I don't think we was no white people in the entire school. And when I went to King, and at King we was what some states or cities might call 5A or 6A, whatever the second highest is. Like as far I'm talking about football wise, like so that means we had a high enrollment. We were Division II in Michigan, which is the second highest classification, however you classify it, wherever you from when it comes to sports. So that means we had a pretty high enrollment, and I think it was one white kid in the entire school.
That's so interesting.
Detroit. All the white people in Detroit live downtown or they live right on the outskirts.
I wonder why that is. And another thing is, Detroit and California are like cousins for whatever reason.
When it comes to like music.
Yeah, when it comes to culture, just a little bit. I wonder what that. Do you know why that is? I don't know why that is, but like, I know a lot of people outside of Detroit and like California or just the West Coast in general, because I feel like Nevada, Arizona, Seattle, and California, they all have, at least the black people have a similar music taste. Mm-hmm. But everybody else hates it. But Detroit, on the other hand, like it's just like a loop.
It's actually like a little pit stop in between there, because you could go from Detroit, Milwaukee, very similar.
Milwaukee too, yeah.
And then Kansas City a little similar too. When it comes to like music.
I don't know too much about Kansas City, but I do know Milwaukee.
Then you skip all the way. So when it comes to like the certain type of cultures, Detroit, Milwaukee, then you get to Kansas City, it's like that, and then you get to California, the Bay, LA, and it's like that. I don't know the real answer, like I don't know the scientific answer, but what I can just think of, what just me, being who I am and seeing stuff I've seen, I think it's probably drugs. Like, no, like it's probably the drug dealers from the hustlers in every city. They conduct business in Cali. They go back. They swap ideas. They swap. Like I think that's it. Because even back as old as like E40. Nah, because migration wouldn't take like black like culture like that. Like I'm talking about like music, the way niggas dress,
you gotta
but we talk. It's
because we both went to Grambling and we know that they do not like that sound.
Nah,
like West Coast Detroit, they like this is garbage.
They offbeat or they sound like T Grizzly. No, it don't.
It's garbage. But we on two separate coasts. Like we on the two opposite coasts, and we mess with it. Like, I'm like, okay.
No, I'm telling you, it's the hustlers and the drug dealers. They be going to different states, conducting business, and they swap. Like the culture meshes after a while. They pick some stuff up, leave it.
I think that's it. Like, because, unfortunately, pimp and like prostitute culture is prominent in the West Coast. Mm-hmm. And in Detroit rap, I hear a lot of that too.
Yeah, you talking about pimping.
Yeah, so it's like,
It'd be the hustle that connect folks, honestly.
That's crazy. I think that's really interesting. Because people do not like that type of
music. People be swearing they offbeat. I don't see it, though.
I don't hear it either.
But I think I've low-key I think I've had an epiphany, though. I think that, because I really love Detroit music, like Detroit rap. And I think that I don't think it's the music. I don't think it's the rappers. I think it might be the beats for me. Like I think it might be the beats.
You do like the beats?
I think it's the beats that I'm attracted to more than the rappers. But they're very
similar. It's the doom.
Yeah, like I think it's the beats I'm more attracted to than the rappers, because like I've been listening to Babyface Ray since he was in Team Eastside, Peasy, all of them since 2011. But when Ray be dropping new tracks and it's not on a Detroit beat, like
it's like.
I don't really be feeling it. I'd be like, all right, yeah, it's still Ray. I'm going to support regardless, but I don't be feeling. But like when it's a Detroit beat, I'd be like, that'd be my favorite song on each project. The one where he rapping on a Detroit beat.
Me too.
So I'm starting to think that it might be the beats that more, and the producers don't get enough credit. Shout out Rokane. That's my dog. He the producer that produced a lot of Vezo stuff and all that.
That's true. Because I'm the same. Because I know we talked about this off camera before, how we both like, we don't listen to music to get any type of insight or any deep we listen to music for pure entertainment.
Yeah, for the fuckery, the ignorance,
and giggles. Like,
yeah.
So I'm the same way. Like I like a good beat, and if you could ride a good beat, but y'all, everybody, well, not everybody knows, but Cash Kid is like my top.
Yeah.
Because he got the lyricism and he got the beats.
Yeah, Cash Kid. We used to call him back then. We used to say that's the Detroit Lil Wayne, like with the metaphors and the bars.
And he loved Lil Wayne. Did you see his interview with No Jumper?
No, I didn't even see it.
He talked about how he loves Lil Wayne, which is crazy. Like, he was
with
like
the metaphors and similes and shit. That's Cash Kid, the Detroit Lil Wayne.
The metaphors is sick. Like I be listening to like, and like I said, I don't even listen to rap that hard to catch stuff like that. But he makes it easy. He makes it fun. But that's just interesting. Like Detroit, Milwaukee culture and like it's so similar, you would never really guess, like, because I have one of my best friends is from Milwaukee and she loved West Coast music, and then she put us on and there's certain songs that I've heard from like Milwaukee or Detroit that I'm like, I thought this was a West Coast song. I thought these people from the West Coast.
It's crazy because being from Detroit, I feel like the Cali culture is like we're similar, but y'all still are different at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I feel like in Detroit we respect that so much to where Milwaukee kind of irritates us.
Because
Milwaukee kind of like an exact copy.
Yeah.
Like Milwaukee people really act like they from Detroit, and they kind of irritate us.
Okay.
I ain't gonna say they acting like from Detroit, but it's so similar that it kind of make niggas mad. Like, what are you like? You not like? Come on, bro.
Well, how far is Detroit from Milwaukee? It's not that far, right?
Man, that shit kind of far. It gotta be. It's a big ass lake in between us for sure. It's a whole. So look, Michigan is which way that bitch face? Michigan
it's like
is so Detroit is like down here. And then, so we on the whole other side of the state. So you got the whole state of Michigan, this whole big ass lake, and then Wisconsin right here in Milwaukee, like right there.
Okay.
So that shit kind of far.
I mean, I kind of get that because there's always this beef. So I'm from the Inland Empire. And the Inland Empire is like inland Southern California.
Boy, you said Inland Empire. I thought that was a gang. I'm like, huh? Inland Empire. That just sound like I was like the fuck. Okay, KG banging on me.
No.
Inland Empire sound like a clique. Like it sound like y'all get busy. Like I'm from the Inland Empire. Like, oh shit, boy.
No, it's not that. It's literally a geographic term for the inland part of Southern California. Okay. Right? So I'm from San Bernardino, California. Now that you might want to be a little weird.
Oh, see, I've heard of the IE. I ain't know IE stood for Inland Empire. I ain't know that. I've heard people be like, "Oh, they from the IE." I never knew that's what it stood for.
Yes, that's
what IE sound less gang like.
I feel like the IE sounds more gangy. Like I'm from the IE.
Nah, Inland Empire. It's the empire that sound like this. Like you feel me, like some gang like shit. Yeah, like, like damn. I was like the Mexicans. Like, I'm like no way.
No, okay. So I'm from the IE. Let's put it that way.
All right.
And LA is like it's like 40 minutes west of us. So we're like 40 minutes east of LA. Okay. And so, obviously, LA culture and IE culture is very like it's the same state. It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same region. 40 minutes
like,
ain't. Yeah, 40 minutes ain't.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, but every LA people are always like every IE people want to be like us so bad. Like nigga, we're in the same area. Like it's not that far. And
that might be a California thing.
That's so. But the thing is, and they think that, but it's like when I was in Grambling. I never claimed to be from LA, even though I know that would be easier for people to comprehend. Like, I'm from Los Angeles. I'm only 40 minutes out or 45 minutes out. Now with traffic, probably like 2 hours. But before it got hectic, I swear you can get to LA in like an hour. But now it's crazy. But I never once claimed to be from LA. Like, I never claimed LA. I never cared to claim LA. But they have this perception that we claim to be from LA. And that's just wild to me. Like, that's crazy. We don't care that bad. It's not that serious.
I don't think we care that much in Michigan. Like, so like, I think what it has to do is in California is the gang culture. So people are very, this is where I'm from. That's where you from.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more divided because 40 minutes away, not shit. Yeah. Like if I'm from Detroit, like if somebody from Grand Rapids, which is on the whole other side of the state, say they from Detroit, that would piss me off because that's nowhere close. But someone from Grand Rapids liking Detroit music, dressing like us, talking like us, the buffs, the glasses, that's not weird because it's Michigan. Yeah, that's our vibe. Like that's Michigan. Like a Grand Rapids rapper rapping like Detroit, that wouldn't irritate nobody. Yeah. Because the Flint niggas jumped in the game and they, you feel me, blew it up a lot. Like Rio, RMC Mike, Crispy Life Kid, all of them niggas from Flint. But nobody get mad like, no, y'all niggas from Flint. Like, nah.
They from Michigan.
Yeah, they from Michigan. And Flint only like an hour north of Detroit. But yeah, we don't really get as mad. But you're not going to hear Rio and none of them get on an interview and say, I'm from Detroit. Right. They would never say that. So I kind of see where people coming from, but not really with that.
Yeah, I think it's very. But the thing is, I feel like it's one-sided because everybody who I know from the IE, don't claim LA. Like we don't never say we're from LA, and we don't like care for LA culture. Like it's not like we check in for them. Yes, we're literally, but I think it's just a pride thing. Like LA is the most known city. Like it's Los Angeles. Everybody knows Los Angeles. You can't.
But isn't the IE technically just a suburb of LA?
Not necessarily. I would give it more to like the valley. If you say you was from the valley, like San Fernando Valley, because it's closer. IE is like, it's really, because the IE is so big, the way that they have it, I just found this out not too long ago. If you look up cities in the IE, it stretches out so far, but it's not LA. It's really not. It is more suburban for sure. It's not more city-like.
What direction is the IE? If LA?
So LA's right here, IE's over here.
So where Long Beach at?
Long Beach is like over here.
So Long Beach closer to LA than you?
Oh yeah.
I thought that shit was far.
No, it's really close to it might even be LA County. Don't quote me because I don't know, but it might be like Los Angeles County. It's in there.
So you farther from? I thought all that shit was equally as far.
No. We're like. So, Los Angeles, how I think of it in my head is just like water. It's really, really close to the water. We're not. We're more inland, so it even gets hotter. And where we live,
y'all like towards
it's
Nevada
more deserted
type shit.
Yeah, we're like 3 hours from Vegas.
Hey, you know where one of my roommate in Grambling, that nigga went to College of the Desert. You know where that's at?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's
and like, so we have the high desert, which is like Apple Valley, Victorville.
Yeah, that nigga
we have
desert,
Moreno Valley. We have Upland. We have Chino Hills. We have Rancho Cucamonga.
Okay, Rancho Cucamonga cracker killers.
Yeah. So Rancho Cucamonga, if y'all seen Friday, that's the inland. That's the IE. That's the IE.
Yeah, I play for the Rancho Cucamonga cracker killers.
That's the IE. So yeah, we have like a big. Even if you stretch out, I didn't even know this till recently, like I said, but the IE stretches out as far as Palm Springs and Indio, and when you start to reach the border between California and Arizona.
Oh, I didn't know
so
that.
we stretch out to where you
College
reach the
of the
border
Desert probably is
of California and Nevada. Like we stretch out really far. It's really like, I feel like Southern California is San Diego, Los Angeles County, and then the Inland Empire.
Bro, y'all just need to click up under one big Inland Empire, you feel me, banner and go fuck them LA niggas up. No. But Inland Empire is not like a crazy game.
Yeah, but like because it's so big, like it stretches out so far. But you know, LA people don't mess with us, but it's okay. It is what it is. But we got a lot of cool people from the IU.
Yeah, no, it was a couple people from Grand Line I knew that was from San Bernardino.
Bobby Altoff, the white girl from the Interviewer.
I don't know if we fucking with her, but
she's naive. But I just noticed that in her last interview. I didn't even know that. But who else? Keith Stanfield. You know who that is? The actor.
Yeah.
He from San Bernardino, actually.
Okay. Yeah,
so,
you get him vibes. He a little strange. Sorry, I mean, stop. Like Keith is a little strange, though.
Don't do IE. Okay, so. Damn, we just went on the whole.
Yeah, we got size. I don't even remember what we was talking about at first. Like, I don't even remember the original question.
Okay, let's circle back. Football.
Oh yeah.
So you played football, went to Grambling, played at Grambling, and then you went to the XFL.
I ain't gonna lie, now the journey was way crazy.
Okay, let's get into it. I'm here to listen.
Nah, that shit was crazy. First of all, I'm probably the only nigga in professional football. I'm probably the only nigga in XFL history to go from. I'm talking about. When I say unranked, a lot of niggas be like, I was unranked in high school. I was a 2-star. I was the underdog. Nigga, I'm talking about if you type my name in on ESPN when I was in high school, I didn't even have a profile. Nigga, they didn't know who I was. Nobody knew who the fuck I was. But most of that was my fault. Grades and shit. I ain't had no grades. You got to go to camps. Niggas getting off in the 8th grade now. That'd be off like camps or shit. But why go to a camp and you got a fucking 1.6? Like, it just didn't make sense. So I was really, and honestly, I ain't really get good to my 11th grade year. To my junior year. So at that point, niggas be committing. They junior, like, you feel me? Your junior year is when they expect you to commit. And then your senior, you just ball out and already know where you're going. But I ain't had, I ain't had no offers for real, man. I ain't had no grades. So I went out of high school. I was the offensive lineman of the year on the number 1 team in the state. 14-0, state champs, undefeated season. Shit, we was the only team in Michigan high school football history to ever start a season, preseason, ranked number 1 in the state. And finished that bitch ranked number 1 in the state. Like, we was number 1 in the state the entire year. Like, didn't lose. Shit, we was just dominant. Only gave up 2 passing touchdowns the entire year. Held every quarterback we played to under 100 yards passing. Like, we was just fire. And I was offensive lineman of the year. Best player on the best team in the state. Best offensive lineman on the best team in the state. You would think, you think I'm going to Michigan State. Hell no, I ain't had no grades. I ain't had no offers. I didn't have no real interest from nobody. And a lot of schools that did show a little interest in me, they were trying to make me walk on to play D-line. Like I said, so as a kid, I started off playing O-line, played O-line my whole life. I always hated it, wanted to play D-line. But my junior year, when I got good, that was because I really embraced being an offensive lineman. Okay. And I was like, shout out to Coach Carter at Northwestern. He was probably the one that instilled that in me, like, to take pride. You feel me? Being an offensive lineman. Shout out to Coach Hill and Coach Carter from Northwestern. Because Coach Hill, my coach at Northwestern, was really the coach that made me feel like I could play college football. Like, all right, this might be my way out. Like, all right, like, if I can, handle business a little bit, I could get to college, like, through football. Because I knew I wasn't getting no academic scholarship. That shit was over with.
Yeah.
And this might be a conversation for another day, but adults in the inner city do a terrible job of making you feel like you could go to college without a scholarship. Because they don't really tell you about financial aid.
Yeah, no,
they don't tell you about grants. They make it seem like if you don't get an academic or athletic scholarship, you're done. You're going to be in so much debt. You're going to have to pay out of pocket. You're finished. So a lot of niggas be like, bro, I'm ass at sports. I'm not good at school. I'm finna go sell drugs.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like
people
don't be letting you know it's ways to go to college without that. So, shout out to Coach Hill because the way I'm thinking, I don't think I can go to college. So, but Coach Hill was the first one at Northwestern that made me feel like, all right, yeah, like, all right, if I can do it, types like it's possible. It's not as hard as you think. Because people always want to throw them fucking stats at you. Oh, only this amount high school players go play in college. But really, everybody I knew in high school that was any type of decent got an opportunity in college at some level.
Yeah.
It's not as hard as they make it seem. Like I'm not saying you're going to go to the bigger school, but you can go to college. You feel me? So
check your mic. Is it blinking? Is it blinking blue? Okay, we're good. I just want to make sure it's still recording. we good.
All right, so boom. So shout out to Coach Hill and Coach Carter at Northwestern. I ended up at King on that #1 team in the state because I got kicked out of Northwestern. That turned into a low-key blessing in disguise. Me and my niggas went in there. We fought. We got into a big-ass brawl. Kicked us out of Northwestern. I went to King. Offensive lineman of the year. Did all that. So, you feel me? So,
okay, that's blessing in disguise.
Yeah, blessing in disguise. Got kicked out of Northwestern. Went to King. Did that. So, King, senior year come. All that happened. I get my only offer from this school called Davenport University. It's in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they were in a special situation because this was going to be their first ever year playing football. Like they technically had a football team for 2 years now, but the first year was just like in theory. The second year they actually had players on campus, but they played a mock season. They just played against each other, and we're all given a red shirt. And this year, 2016, was the year that all right, we're actually going to play other people. Boom. So the plan was for them to become a Division II school in year 3. So 2017, they would become Division II. But my senior year, they were NAIA, which is a separate entity from the NCAA, but they can give scholarships, and their requirements are a little bit different. So because I had a 21 on the ACT and I needed a 2.0 GPA overall, cumulative, not academic. NCAA, you need a 2.3 academic. I had a fucking 1.6 academic, but I had a 2 overall. So, and I 21 on ACT, so I can sign NAIA. So I signed with Davenport. I was there. I was still on some same shit I was in high school shit. I want to say in October. I had only been to school, October, school started in August, was that 3 months? I got a tour with some niggas on campus that didn't go there. Nigga came in the campus. Nigga came in my dorm room. I beat his ass. He grown as hell. He pulled a gun out.
Okay, you told me about that.
Yeah, my roommate got shot. That's a story from the. I don't really want to get into that. He's straight though. He's straight. He's straight. He's straight. He got shot in the hand. He got shot in the hand. He got shot in the hand.
Big deal. It happens every day. Roommates get shot.
He got shot in the hand. He's straight. But the nigga had that bitch to my face though. He was, that's story for them. I really don't mind talking about that, but that's a long story. I ain't gonna get into that. But
you can get into whatever you want.
So then that situation happened. But that's really just a sidebar. They didn't really have shit to do with football. That shit was just kind of wild that I still went to college on the same Detroit kid bullshit, and it's you can't succeed like that. I low-key had an academic scholarship. It wasn't full, but I had a partial academic along with my athletic scholarship at Davenport because my ACT score was pretty decent, 21, pretty good. If I was better at math, I would have really got a 27. I did terrible on math. I got a 13. I'm not good at math. Yeah, I got a 27 on everything else and a 13 on math. So that should drop me all the way down to 21. So I lost that my second semester because I had a fucking 1.5 GPA in college. I was just in college on the same shit. And then also being young and going to college where it's all right, high school I always was the man. I'm talking about I was starting on varsity as a freshman. I've started on varsity my entire time in high school. I get to college, my first year I don't play at all. I redshirt, which is crazy. So I'm already irritated. My sophomore year, I'm all right.
This is at JUCO?
No, this is at Davenport still.
Okay. I
was at Davenport for a year and one and a half. It's technically on paper 1 year though, because so my second year at Davenport. My grades ain't good, but I'm still eligible because I had to make it up in the summertime. Because in the spring I had that 1.5, but I made it up in the summertime, so I'm eligible academically. But I'm still not playing. and it's frustrating. Like, all right, as a freshman, I redshirted, so it's kind of cool because you get a lot of time to yourself when you redshirt, and you get to just chill out, enjoy college a little bit. So I'm all right. But my sophomore year now is like, all right, like what the fuck? I'm traveling with the team, but I'm not playing. I'm getting fed up. Like, I'm irritated. It came to a point where I started missing practices. I kind of just checked out. Every high school player, I'm not gonna say every, but most high school players that transition to college go through the growing pains of, okay, you're not that guy anymore. You got to work your way back up to being that guy.
Yeah.
And there's two things you can do. You can either lock in and go super, super hard to prove yourself, or you could check out and say, man, fuck this shit. I'm not getting a fair shot. And I ain't gonna lie, I checked out. I ain't care no more. I stopped going to practice sometimes. I would skip practice. I was on a travel squad. It was a time where we had a game all the way in northern Michigan. Shit was like a 10-hour drive. And I knew I wasn't going to play, but I was on the travel squad. I skipped the game. Like, I didn't go. Like I just was like, I really was ready to be done with football. And then I got into a big-ass brawl again. Yeah, looking out for them. I was looking out for one of my teammates, though. My homeboy was finna get jumped. I went up there, but when I came, I ain't know hella niggas came with me. We shut the party down. They told on us. It was some hockey players, some rugby players. They told on us. We whipped their ass. Pussy ass niggas, man. They told on us. I can't believe they told. Because they normally was good sports about it. Like, they normally, would take their ass whooping on the chin. But it was just something about the particular day. I guess it was too much for them. They told on us.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah, so I was the number one culprit because I was up there. That's one thing about a PWI I don't miss. Them white people, sometimes they be playing too fucking much. And I used to beat a white man up every weekend when I went to PWI. Because they played my first college party, I punched a white man in the face, man. He grabbed my homeboy drawers. My homeboy was saggy. He grabbed his drawers with a diaper. Like, hey, I got a diaper for you. We went to a hockey party. Don't know what we doing. I punched this straight in the eye. Like, let him the fuck go. Like, you don't know us. Why are you over here touching people? Like, I got PWI stories for days, but this podcast going to be forever. You let me get into that, but. Boy, like, nah, that shit, like, I'm like, why are you touching us, bro? Like, what's wrong with you?
That's crazy.
So, back to what. So, yeah, I end up getting kicked out of Davenport. They suspend me for academic school year, make me drop all my classes. This is halfway through my third semester, so halfway through the first semester of my sophomore year. They make me drop all my classes, so it's like I never even went to school that semester. They kick me off campus. So I have to leave. They kick me off the football team. They say you could come back summer 2018, community service, anger management. You could get your scholarship back. But I'm like, I'm not even fucking happy here. Like, I've been skipping practice. Like, I'm damn near done with football. Like, why would I go back? Like, that don't make sense. So I started exploring my options. I had talked to some HBCUs, some Division I HBCUs. But, like, back then, there wasn't no transfer portal. Shit was different. If you transfer, you had to sit out a year, no matter what. Like, you had to sit out a year. Yeah. So schools like, we're not going to give you a scholarship to come sit out. Like, you'll have to, you'll have to pay for school. And then there's no guarantee you do that. I'm a walk-on. There's no guarantee you ever going to get on scholarship. So I'm like, I ain't want to do that. So I ended up fucking looking into junior colleges. And you ever seen Last Chance U?
A little bit, I think.
Yeah, the junior college football. Yeah. I kind of looked into it. And I just started doing my research. See, a lot of people, I feel like, this is where a lot of people fuck up at. Some of them schools, like California, Last Chance U, that shit real, like. Because they don't give scholarships, they don't have housing, they don't have nothing, like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I can't say
real.
Junior college in California, no, you don't get housing.
Yeah, nothing.
You don't,
It's like that in Minnesota, too. It's certain states that is like that, and then there's certain states that it's not like that. So you got to do your research. Like, I wasn't, like, just super hungry to, go anywhere. Like, I just really did my research. Also, I don't know. My mama might see this. I ain't never tell her I got kicked out of Davenport. I told her I left on my own. But it worked out though, ma. But anyway, so I just did my research. And I was like, bro, now I'm going to a JUCO where they take care of me, man. So I low-key finessed too. I was committed to go to the JUCO called Highland, but they was giving me the runaround. They're like, walk on to the summer, because I had to go in the spring, because now this fall 17, I'm out of school. I'm at home. I told my mama I came home voluntarily, like, I want to try something new. I ain't liking up there. So she's like, all right. So they like, come spring 18, walk on, we'll give you a scholarship by the summer. But again, you never know if that's true. So I get a call from Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. Shout out Coach Allen. He called me. He like, hey, yeah, we want you. What's it gonna take? I'm like, Holland offered me a full scholarship. What y'all gonna offer me? Even though I'm lying, like Holland ain't offering me shit. He like, yeah, we got a full scholarship for you too. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I go to NEO, Northeast Miami, Oklahoma, middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. But they took, you feel me? The worst part about NEO was it was the middle of fucking nowhere in the dorms. Like the whole football team lived in one dorm, Dyer Hall. So that shit was kind of crazy. But it was fun though. We you feel me? We clicked as we formed a little brotherhood. Yeah. Shout out a lot of my close friends. I met at JUCO. So yeah, that shit in the middle of nowhere. Finessed them for a scholarship, but they took care of me. Like our equipment we had fire, our facility was fire, our weight room was fire, locker room was fire. We had a pool on campus. The food wasn't bad. Like it was cool. You feel me? I ended up going all conference there. Shit, I ain't even there when I got there. I ain't start till the 4th game of the season. Somebody got hurt. I started playing. I was like, and I only had 1 year to play JUCO. So if I ain't played that year, it would have been over. My football career would have been over. But somebody got hurt. I ended up started the rest of the season after starting week 4. Went all conference, and then Grambling offered me. Yeah. Then got to Grambling. Shit, they really Grambling recruited me because this nigga named David Moore. Fuck you, David. David fat ass was bullshitting, so they really wanted me to come replace him. But I don't know, for some reason, David just locked in all of a sudden when they recruited me. And now David all of a sudden.
He's trying to take my spot.
Yeah, that nigga David and over locked in. This nigga David, he fucking benching damn near 500. You feel me? Doing handstands, backflipping and shit. Coach Fives, our head coach at Grambling on ESPN, talking about he the best player overall on the team. And this is the nigga whose spot I was supposed to take. So I was that nigga backup my whole first year at Grambling. I'm like, fuck. And then me and David is worse because we the same class. And then the center was a senior. The other guard was a nigga named Waddell, who had been there since a freshman starter. So I'm like, and we all the same class. I'm like, bro, I'm not taking none of these niggas' spots. Like, they not gonna give me it's nothing I can do. You feel me? They're not giving it up. It's nothing I can do because the other two niggas got stained and they on David nuts bad. It's over with. Like David, yeah, it was over with. So I just was like, damn, like football basically over for me again. Like it's over. Like it's over with. I was like, you feel me? I just had to it was over. I was gonna be a backup. My whole time and grandma wasn't gonna play. But COVID happened. So when COVID happened, David had so much hype. Instead of coming back to play his senior year, he declared for the draft. So now I'm the starting guard. So and I got an extra year. I got the COVID season plus the extra season. So then I ended up doing what I had to do at Grambling and ended up getting my opportunity in. Yeah, I really only got the opportunity because of COVID, damn near. Well, who knows? Because Will ended up transferring, so maybe Waddell would have transferred anyway, even if COVID ain't happened. Maybe I would have played with Dave. Like, I don't know. But COVID happened. I ended up, being the starter, captain, one of the captains on the O-line my senior year. Yeah. And then the NFL draft process, crazy. That shit was so depressing.
Okay, so let me break this down. As somebody like me who does not watch sports or football, I noticed, though, there's a trend of people, or men, obviously, who play football for a majority of their lives, right? And so that they feel like that's their ticket out or that's their promise. Like, that's what they're going to do for the rest of their lives, right? And when it doesn't pan out, it's like everything in their lives is crashing down. It's crashing down. So I want to get more into that because that's something, like I said, as somebody who doesn't really like sports, who doesn't really care for sports, or who doesn't pay attention to sports as much, I'm trying to understand that concept. Like, because even in my experience, I've met people who have had that idea, like, okay, sports is, whether it's track, football, baseball, it doesn't pan out the way that they think that it should, and it's just like an overwhelming wave of depression. So what is that like? Can you walk through that with me?
I'm gonna tell you exactly what that is. It's that the difference between the NFL process with me was when I didn't get a call, I was super depressed because I had got my hopes up because the way shit was going for me in like the last 4 or 5 months. That okay, like, oh damn, like You know, like, so when it didn't happen, it was crushing. But for other people, I want to say what the thing is that, like, from a young age, they're told you're going to the league. Like, because you got to think, these niggas that are in college playing, or they were always the best on their little league. They were always the best in high school. They were always the best in college. They were always the best. They were always told they were best, even in other sports. They were always told they were so fucking great. See, me, I didn't know if I was going to college. I had no offers. So I had to be thinking about other options. Shit, I got to Davenport, I wasn't playing. I had to think about other options. I got to NEU, I wasn't playing. I had to think about other options. I got to Grambling, I wasn't playing. I had to think about other options. So when I did kind of get over the NFL shit, I'm like, all right, I'm going to shake back. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good in life regardless. But like other people, that be the only thing they ever are told, only thing they ever believe is like, I'm going to the league. Like like they whole life they told, you're going to the league. Okay. So when it doesn't happen, they get hurt or they just don't play as well. It's like that's been their whole livelihood.
So it's like, now what?
Yeah, it's like, now what the fuck did I do? It damn near feel like people don't love you the same because they all been telling you you're going to the league, you're going to, now you're not going. You don't know how motherfuckers feel about you no more. Like, it might not even be, you might not even think, it might not even be real. Like, you might feel like your mama don't even love you the same type shit.
Yeah, right.
Because she's expecting me to go to the league. She's been taking me to practice since I was in 3rd grade. Like, she expected me to go to the league. Now I'm not going to the league. Do my mama still love me the same? Like, I was supposed to be her ticket out. Like, it could fuck with you mentally. Like, it really can. But even now, shit, I might be done with football. And I'm not as worried. I'm annoyed, of course, because I put in all this work. But, you feel me? I feel like I've done what I can do. And if I get a call, I get a call. But I'm not, because at a certain point, because just with my story, like I said, like, football was never promised to me. I had to fight. I had to go take that shit. Like, at a certain point, it's like, all right, fuck it, bro. I done fought as hard as I could fight. Like, it is what it is. But with other people, it's like, you know, they really be, that be them their entire life. They be told, they be believing, they be working for it. And then when it don't happen, it's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. It's
like soul crushing.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, I've seen that so many times. And not even just football, but in other sports too. But I've also seen people who, it's almost like they have this thought process like, okay, I'm going to go to whatever the biggest is in their respective sport. But they don't even put in that effort, right? Mm-hmm. So I've seen people who are like, okay, I'm going to go and do the Olympics for X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. But they don't practice. Mm-hmm. You know, they spend their free time doing X, Y, and Z. So to me, but also at the same time, like I said, I'm not really a person who's into sports. To me, it almost seems like a delusion. Like, you don't even put forth the work to be in that position. So why do you think that that's going to just magically happen for you? But I do understand that, especially for young black men, is like when you're constantly told that one of your only tickets out is football or basketball. And you're constantly told that from the age of 3rd grade over and over again, and every other opportunity from you is stripped time and time and time again. But people are awarding you with, okay, you can still play football.
Yeah, you go to practice though.
Yeah, and then you get
don't come out your room, but I'm gonna take you
to an age like how we are now, and you got to figure out what you're gonna do with your life and how you're gonna make money and how you're gonna provide for yourself. And that opportunity is taken away from you, and it's like, okay, you're not as good as you thought you was.
Yeah.
I can understand how that would be like.
Yeah, that shit is crushing.
What?
That shit bring, you know, because I remember how depressed I was after I'm somebody who never, like, yeah, everybody think they going to the NFL. Mm-hmm. But me, I'm more realistic with myself. Like I said, when I got to college, I wasn't playing much. I'm at a small school. Got to junior college, I wasn't playing. Got to Grambling, you know, I wasn't playing. And Grambling, not even the biggest school.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my senior year, our last game of the season, nigga, I gave a speech in the hotel before the Bayou Classic, damn near cried. I told them niggas like, bro, this is probably my last time ever playing football. Like, we going out with a W, like, and we won that game, and I thought I would never play football again, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, I had made up, because I'm like, nobody know who I am. I only played 1 year of college football for real, a half a season in the spring, where I ended up missing the last game. We only played 4, and I only played in 3 because I had fucking strep throat the entire spring. I just kept getting strep back to back to back. That shit was wild, bro. But I ended up only playing it, and we went 0-4. We lost all the bitches. I only played in 3 of them, and then I had 1. So I really only had 1 full season of college football as a starter. So I made my mom like, bro, I'm not going to league. And then shit started happening for me. I started getting invited to camps, Legacy Bowl, College Gridiron Showcase. And I always knew I was good, but I just knew I never had I never had no football is all about clout. It's all about who you know. It's all about recognition. I never had none of that. So I'm like, man, this is over. But when I started going to these camps, playing against kids that went to these big schools, that played in these big leagues, I'm locking their ass up. I'm doing them dirty. I'm like, oh shit, scouts pulling me to the side. I had a coach at the college gridiron showcase pull me to the side, like what happened? Like, why you go to Grambling? Like,
why you
he like you caught a case or something. Like I'm like bro, Grambling was my only offer. That's why I went to Grambling. That was my only D1 offer out of JUCO. Like I had some of the best D2s in the country, but Grambling was my only D1 offer, and it was Toledo had me waiting. Like wait, we trying to see if this Power 5 guy gonna sign. We gonna call you back. But Grambling, like, you feel me, signed. I'm like, fuck it, I signed with Grambling, and I want to go to HBCU. I'm like, fuck it. So it's like, I didn't expect to go to the league. I only expected to go to the league for like 3 months. And I was depressed when I didn't go to the league. So I can imagine how a nigga feel that thought he was going to the league
his whole life.
Oh, I know. Boy, hey.
His whole life. Yeah.
Boy, I know. Ooh, boy, I'm talking about, I ain't talked to my mama for 2 months after I ain't get drafted. I ain't expect to get drafted, but after I ain't get a rookie mini camp signed as a free agent, I ain't answered the phone for my mama for 2 months.
Yeah.
I ain't answered the phone for nobody till the summertime.
But doesn't that, because to me, like I said, I'm not a person who's into sports, but doesn't that make your skin kind of crawl? Because it makes me upset that people feed us the dream that our only way out is through sports or music. And you have this perception from the time you're in the 3rd grade until you reach 20-something years old. And then that dream gets crushed. And now what? This is what I've been prepping for my almost entire life. Yeah. And now what? They don't tell us you can be a doctor. You can be an actress. You can be a journalist. You can be whatever your little heart desires.
I mean, so for me, it was a little different because I'm Nigerian, so having African parents, they definitely tell your ass you could be a doctor. But that's annoying. They definitely tell your ass you could be a doctor, you could be a motherfucking lawyer or engineer. That's the top 3. Yeah. But they don't respect anything else, and that's what's annoying about African parents.
Yeah. Okay.
Them, they top 3: engineer, doctor, lawyer. If you're not talking about that, they on your ass, and they don't respect no arts. They don't. You feel me? And then all of they ass entrepreneurs and business people they self, but it's kind of like they know how hard that was and feel like being a doctor is easy. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they feel like it's more of a guarantee.
So they don't really encourage you being super business minded. So that I would say being African, I always had that, but I was never good at school. So I'm not finna go. You're not finna tell me.
Add more school.
You get what I'm saying? Not that I wasn't good at school, is I never really cared for school. I would say that. Like I'm like, bro, like, oh, I'm touching my, like, man, why I never really cared for it. I'll say that.
And that's crazy, because for me, school has always been like my cop out. Like that was the one thing that I was good at. Like, but my parents are, they're really like lenient. They were really like, do whatever you want. That's
because they had a whole bunch of motherfucking kids.
Yeah, exactly. At a certain point, you tired. At a certain point, you tired. Yeah, but they're like, do what you want. But my parents' whole thing was just like, my mom especially, I can never forget that she said this. She was like, as disrespectful and irritating as y'all are in this house, I'm just glad that I don't get no complaints from anybody outside that y'all are disrespectful. So that was her whole thing. Like, don't go out there and embarrass me and make it seem like I just raised a bunch of disrespectful heathens. But other than that, like, she didn't check my grades. She just trusted that I was going to be a decent person. And I am. Like, the crazy thing is my mom was the least strict out of all my friends in high school. And I got into the least trouble.
Yeah, because being super strict just make people sneaky.
Yeah, they want to do more.
I hate being micromanaged. And I think it's from growing up where my parents, like when I did live with like my parents and they tried that shit, I used to hate that shit.
Yeah, my mom was never, like she would just be like, okay.
That shit ain't do something to make me more rebellious.
Yeah, she's like, her thing was like, you'll learn your lesson on your own. Yeah, if you wanted to go out and be a dumbass, you're going to learn the lesson on your own. I don't got to press that into you. And like I said, I was just like, that was so instilled in me that I never really did nothing bad at all. But all the rest of my friends who were like, their parents were super strict, they were getting pregnant in high school, you know, like sneaking out, going to parties, doing drugs. And I was just like, no, I'm okay. But my mom was like, go do it if you want to.
Right.
Like,
Now, so the thing about me growing up is I ain't really, a lot of the time I ain't had nobody to be there to tell me what to do or what not to do. But when shit would come out about what I had done, I had a bunch of motherfucking people judging me based off what happened. And that shit used to be annoying me because I'm like, bro, like, all right, yeah, I get in trouble. I get kicked out of school. I get kicked out of this motherfucker for fighting, playing too much. Feel me, Mike? You feel me? Skipping grades, ain't slipping because I'm just bullshitting. I'm really just doing regular kid shit at the end of the day. Like I'm in school in 7th, 8th grade. It's niggas in that bitch smoking weed, cigarettes, bitches pregnant, bitches skipping classes, suck dick, all type. I wasn't doing none of that shit. I'm like, bro, and y'all annoying me. Like, bro, like leave me the fuck alone. Like I'm not even as bad as I could be. Like I'm chilling. Like, and then, like, bro, I had family members telling me all types of crazy shit. I remember I got suspended in 9th grade. One of my fucking cousins I ended up living with after this year, I ain't living with her at the time. She told me I should go to Job Corps. I might as well drop out of high school. What's the point of keep going to school? You keep getting kicked out. Now I got my degree, criminal justice, double minor, psychology, and management, 3.0 GPA. Just want to put that out there. But it's like, you feel me? Like, stop, bro. I had adults telling me the craziest shit just because I get into a little scuffle every now and then. Like, bro, get off my dick. Like, bro, that shit used to be so annoying, bro. I used to be so irritated. People always got something to fucking say. Like, man, and that's why to this day I hate being micromanaged. Like, give me a task, I'll go get it done. But it's like, if you finna, like, leave me the fuck alone, bro.
Yeah, like let me do me.
Yeah, like, that should be annoying me.
I get that. So now, post Grambling, XFL. Let's talk about that experience and what you got going on these days.
Damn, XFL is crazy. XFL is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I had a good ass time. I had a good time when after a while I had a good time. But first getting to XFL was crazy. The stress of that shit is different because this the pros. Like this shit, this your job, this your livelihood, and nothing's guaranteed in XFL. This not the NFL. I ain't get drafted and sign a 3-year, you feel me, $7 million deal.
Yeah.
X amount of money guaranteed. This XFL, you get drafted, you come to camp, you getting paid on a weekly basis, and you can get cut at any moment. And once you get cut, you're not getting paid no more. Mm-hmm. Like you go home. You know what I'm saying? Like I left a job in New York. I can't go back there. If I would have got cut, I got to go back to my mama's house. Like you know what I'm saying? I got to start all over. So every week is that stress. And then I had an O-line coach where that nigga was crazy. I did Coach Wag. Shout out Coach Wag because at the end of the day, I realized it was like he was an HBCU guy too. He used to coach. He didn't go to HBCU, but he coached at a lot of HBCUs. He coached at Grambling at a point in time. I wasn't there when he coached at Grambling. But the last job he had was at Alabama A&M. Shout out Wag. But Wag was a very, like, tough love kind of dude. And I realized a lot of that shit's because he had love for me, but, like, the way he showed it, sometimes I don't know if, it don't work for me. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, like, the way I grew up, I don't really like being micro. I don't really like getting, you feel me? Let me do me a little bit, but, like, guide me. But Wag was very, you feel me, like, like, he very, like, get on your ass, like, cut you the front. Like, Wag, so Wag had me stressing whole camp. I thought Wag hated me the whole camp. I thought I was getting cut at any moment. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't think I was making the team at all. Like, but every day, I remember, bro, last week of training camp in the XFL was nuts. Because we would have meetings at, like, 7 a.m., and they used to send the youngest coach to go get you from your hotel room if you're getting cut. So when you wake up, like you just hoping your alarm wake you up to go to meetings and not that knock on your door.
Yeah.
Like, man, like, I remember one time I woke up to go to meetings. I'm walking to the elevator. I see the coach and I know getting people that's getting cut. Walking to the elevator with one of the players. And I just look down, I look away. I ain't want to make eye contact before he be like, oh, I was just finna come get you. I'm like, nah.
Right.
Like,
actually,
I'm like, bro, he don't see me. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, bro, like, I'm scared as I'm in the elevator looking at the flow. Like, I don't even want him to recognize me. Like, he fuck up like, oh, I am looking at me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that shit, the stress of that is crazy. I don't think people know the stress of camp and in pro football is crazy. Not knowing if you're going to make the team, it's like it's a pit in your stomach.
Yeah,
like,
constantly.
It's crazy. So then I made the team. XFL real cutthroat again, because even once you make the team, you can still be cut at any moment.
Yeah.
And we don't have no practice squad. So if you get hurt, you go straight, you go to IR, and I think it's a minimum of 4 weeks. And they have to sign a completely new player. And they signing him. You think he trying to go home once you get off IR? Hell no. Nah. So he playing his ass off.
Yeah.
So now when you get off IR, you don't know if they going to keep you or and cut the guy they just signed or what's going to happen. So you might, so you get hurt, you might be done. Like, and the IR pay ain't nothing like the pay you get when you playing in games. Like it's not, it don't compare. So that shit was stressful. Even though I wasn't playing at first, same story everywhere. Started off not playing. Then I finally got an opportunity. I want to say, what week was that? Week 4 or 5. Ended up PFF, highest graded run blocking offensive lineman in the entire league. Ended up starting every game but the last 2 after that. I want to say that was week 3 I started starting. I don't know. But I ended up starting every game but the last 2 because they were trying to, my team went 1-9, so they're giving some other guys some looks. Yeah, and that shit was crazy. Like, that shit was crazy. Once I started playing and once the season got going, I want to say just building a bond with my teammates and hanging out with the other guys after made it fun, made it worth it. The money was really good. So, yeah, but it was definitely very, very stressful. Like, that pro football is a different type of stress. Like, when you don't know at any moment, you could just be getting sent home to nothing. Because not like we guys that's been in the league for hella years got a mansion to go home to. Like you going home to basically nothing. Like, yeah, that's it. But it was cool.
So, now what? Now what are you doing? Are you playing football? Are you not? Are you done with football? Do you want to go back? What's going on in your world now?
Damn. I might premiere some shit on your podcast right quick.
I mean, hey, it's up to you.
Man. I've had a good run, man, but I think I'm officially retiring, bro. Even though I only played 1 full year of professional football, I think I'm done. Because at the end of the day, I feel like I got other opportunities to make some decent money. That's what it's about. It's about the money at the end of the day for me. I mean, I love the game for sure. But if the money ain't right, I'm not playing no football. And the Guardians ended up releasing me, and I was like trying to see if I was going to hear from some other XFL or USFL teams. Because other than the NFL, those are the only 2 leagues that really pay anything worth playing to me. So wasn't hearing much. And then now the leagues are talking about combining. Some of the teams might get cut. So it's probably not going to be as many teams to even hear from. And if I haven't heard anything yet, at this point, I'm not a priority. I don't know what the fuck my agent doing, like shit. So it's like, at this point, I got to start doing what's best for me and pursuing other avenues. And if a team call me right now, I might have to tell their ass I'm cool, I'm retired, because at this point, if you calling me, it's not guaranteed. You calling me just to be there and see. Like, I don't got time for that, man. I'm 25. I got to start my life, because being a football player on the cusp like me is kind of handicapping, because you can't go take no full-time job because you might get a call.
Right.
You can't do certain stuff because you might get a call. It's kind of, so it's kind of like, if I really want to lock in and do what I want to do in life, I might not be able to take that call if I get it.
Yeah.
But I might backtrack a little bit, because now that I've decided to go on a more entrepreneurial route, if I get that call, I might have a little more flexibility to go see what it's talking about. So maybe I'm not going to rule it all the way out. But low-key, I'm retired. I'm going to say low-key, I'm retired.
Okay.
But if right opportunity, right team, right coach, I'm hearing the right things, I might go see about it. Yeah.
Okay, I feel that, and we are proud of you. You've been doing your stuff for years.
I might drop the highlight tape too. It was a private link. I might make it public, because I really had a good season. Like, I really went crazy. But
he been out here doing his stuff, and thank you for talking with me. We've been doing. It feels like we've been talking for hours, right?
Yeah,
like the sun was up when we started.
Yeah, definitely. It's been dark.
So thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. If y'all want a part 2, we can do a part 2.
Yeah, man.
But we'll see y'all next time on the Come Up with KG. And y'all like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ham65_ and TikTok. I think it's the same thing. I don't really be on TikTok, but go ahead, give it a follow.
Okay, follow him. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.